Welcome all. Today we're going to talk about the 2025 selection process for the Brazilian program for exchange students. My name is Letícia Schinello. I work for the Ministry of Education, which, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is responsible for the PEC, the program which offers you free places for undergraduate studies and Portuguese course. So, to help me explain to you everything about the application, I have invited Paul. It's a real student that lives here in Brazil. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Leticia.
So, where are you from? Tell us.
All right. So my name is Paul, as Leticia said. I'm from Ghana. I'm a native of Ghana. I've been in Brazil for the past 4 years. I'm a dental student in Brasilia to be specific, and I've been here for the past 4 years studying here. I came through the same selection process, which we are going to explain to you all in a bit. That's all.
Thank you, Paul. So, the first thing we want to tell you is that this program is an official program of the Brazilian government, and it offers you free admission vacancies in Brazilian higher education institutions. So all candidates from the 74 participating countries can apply because there are no quotas per country. The PEC, as we call it, has three modalities, and we're going to talk about two today. The PEC-G, which refers to the undergraduate level, and the PEC-PLE, which talks about the Portuguese as a foreign course. So the PEC-G, it offers you free admission vacancies for complete undergraduate courses. Even though we have exchange in the name of the program, students don't come here for a semester or a year of studies. They come to do the complete period of studies, so 3, 4, 5 years. We offer you courses in all areas of knowledge, and every year there are free applications process taken in the Brazilian embassies and consulates in participating countries. There's something very important that in the end of their studies, students must return to their home countries. So this is what you're gonna do, right, Paul?
Exactly. Exactly.
But you didn't come here speaking Portuguese, right? What was your story?
All right. So I'm a Ghanaian native. My official language is English. So I didn't speak Portuguese before I came to Brazil. You'd have to take up the PEC Play Portuguese course, okay, where you take Portuguese as a second language. This language course is supposed to last for approximately 1 year. Okay, so after the 1 year course, you'd receive a certification, the self-bright certification, which is a proficiency course, okay, proficiency certificate that shows that you speak Portuguese. And then after that, you begin your course, which means you become part of the PEC-G program.
Yes, that's exactly that. So you come here the year before, if you're selected, you study Portuguese and Brazilian culture here in Brazil. You prepare yourself for the CELP-BRAS certificate, which is our official certificate of proficiency in Brazilian Portuguese. If you pass it at the end of the year, and you will pass, we hope so, you can start your studies in the following year. There are several benefits of these programs. First of all, there are no fees at all, so it's a free admission for the complete undergraduate course or the Portuguese course. And you also have access to our public health system. So that's free medical, dental, and pharmaceutical assistance, as for every Brazilian. At the end of your studies, you will receive your diploma legalized at the Brazilian embassy where you apply it, so at your home country. And the same for every Brazilian student, you have access to the institution's services and assistance. Okay, so even as a foreign, you will be treated as a student, as a Brazilian student. You will be a student of the institution. In some cases, but that's very specific, you may receive scholarships by the Brazilian government, but that is the exception, okay? That's not the rule. We have at this moment 74 countries participating in the program. You can check this map here, and if your country is colored, you can apply for the 2025 selection process. As for the vacancies, we have more than 8,000 undergraduate vacancies in more than 100 institutions, in more than 200 courses in every Brazilian state. So you can truly decide which fit best for you. Maybe the capital, or the beach, or the north or south. We have a lot of options. For the PEC PLE, that's more than 500 vacancies in 30 institutions in 16 Brazilian states in all over 5 regions. So, where exactly in this map do you study, Paul?
Okay, so I'm studying in the southeast. Okay, I'm here in Brasilia. And then why did I choose Brasilia? Way back in Ghana, I always used to live in a very small city in Ghana. And then I wanted to have a different experience. Okay, so before I came, before you come, you're very curious. You start reading some things, about the country. And then Brasilia fitted my preference the best. So I was like, why not, try something different. There are people who would prefer to continue with the same routine in their home country. I wanted a different experience, so I ended up choosing Brasilia as my destination.
So you chose adventure.
Exactly, I love adventure.
That's really nice. That's really nice. Well, let's talk a little bit about the general requirements. Paul, could you help me with the first part, please?
Okay, so I'm going to take our potential candidates through the general requirement. Okay, so first of all, you should be a national of a country participating in a program. And what does this mean? If you are a Nigerian, you should be a national of a Nigerian. You can't be a Nigerian and a Brazilian and participating in a program. Okay, so you should be a participant of the country where you are participating in the program. And then secondly, you should not be a Brazilian and not be born to Brazilian parents. Okay. I think this is self-explanatory. You can be a Nigerian, but you cannot be born to Brazilian parents. You can be a Ghanaian, you can be from Kenya, but you should not be born to Brazilian parents. Okay. You should live outside of Brazil. Okay. You can't be a Nigerian or a Ghanaian living in Brazil and then apply for the program. You should be living in the home country where you'd be applying, right? You should not hold any type of visa for Brazil except for a tourist visa. Another self-explanatory point where if you have a Brazilian visa, that should be a tourist visa. It can't be any other type of visa to be able to apply for the program. Okay.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Can you help me with the rest too,
All right,
please?
great. Why not? You should be at least 18 years old by January 1st, 2025. So this is the thing. There is no maximum age that maybe, oh, I'm 33 or I'm 34, so I can't apply. No, but there is a minimum age. You should be at least 18 years before you apply. Okay, so if you're 17 as of now, by January 1st, 2025, you should be 18 to be able to apply. Okay, you should have completed or be completing secondary school education or your high school, okay, other than Brazil. You can't be a student here in Brazil and then apply. So your high school education should be in your home country where you're applying. If you're in school at the moment and you're wanting to apply, you can start the process knowing you would be 18 on the 1st of January 2025. You can start the process now, okay, in your school, and then you apply, okay. Provided that there is a document that states that, hey, I'm 17 years old now, but then I would be 18 by January 1st to be able to apply, right? You should have a general secondary school average of at least 60%, okay? In our countries, we call it, in Ghana, for example, we call it the transcript. So your transcript should have at least a 60% average, okay? Throughout all your courses, throughout all your materials you had in your high school. You should meet the language requirement or the B2 proficiency test in English, okay, at least. So you should pass your English test before you come. You're coming to study Portuguese. A requirement to study Portuguese is to be proficient in your official language before you can take up the Portuguese course, okay. And then last but not the least, you should have one or more sponsors who prove financial capacity to send funds to cover your expenses in Brazil. And the minimum amount is 300 US dollars. Okay. It could be just one sponsor, it could be two sponsors, it could be three sponsors. The most important thing is that the amount, okay, that shows that they are capable of funding you in Brazil should add up to 300 US dollars. And basically that's all.
That's all, and that's a lot, but you can totally do it, we hope. So thank you a lot, Paul. Let me explain a little further into the language requirements. So we can think about two situations. You either have studied Portuguese as an official language at secondary school, for example, you live it in Angola. So you can prove that you speak Portuguese with the CELPE-BRAS certificate, with proof of application for the edition of the CELPE-BRAS for the second semester of this year, or you can have taken an intermediate level certificate. You can show an intermediate level certificate of a Portuguese language course by the Instituto Guimarães Rosa. If you don't have any of that, you should show an overall average in the Portuguese language subject in high school of at least 65%, okay? Then you can apply for the PEC, and if selected, you can start your studies in 2025. If you live it in Ghana, for example, so you did not study Portuguese as an official language at secondary school, but you have studied the language by yourself or at a course, you need to show either the CELPE-BRAS or the proof of application for the CELPE-BRAS in the second semester, or the intermediate level certificate of the Portuguese language course by Instituto Guimarães Rosa. If you don't have any of that, if you don't speak Portuguese yet, you need to apply for the PEC and the PEC PLE, as did Paul. And you need to have an overall average in your official language, either that be English, French, Spanish, or other language, of at least 60%. In that case, it will be the same case as Paul. So you come here, you take a course of 1 year of Portuguese, you take the CELPE-BRAS exam, you pass it, and then on the following year, you start your studies, okay? Here you can take a screenshot to better understand if you can or cannot apply. We hope that you can. And here we have further information in definitions posters, but actually Paul have told us a lot already. You can have more than one person. It can be an individual or a legal entity. And there are some criteria. For example, if your mother will send you $50 per month, she needs to prove that she earns 3 times 50. So she needs to prove she earns $150 per month, okay? But you can do that for as many sponsors that you have. And there are also some documents that you need to send. So take a look at the website, okay? Well, how to apply? Paul, can you help me again, please?
All right. So there are just basic steps, very simple steps. Okay, I'm going to just lay them out and then we talk a bit if we're supposed to explain further. So the first step, you fill in an online application form and the link would be provided. The link is on the PEC website. I think Leticia is going to leave us with the link before we leave, or the link would already be on your screens. The second step, after filling the application form, you should learn about the Brazilian higher institutions and then the available courses, okay? So before you choose your course, after filling the form, you should try to read a bit about, the institution you're applying to. Do they offer this course? Okay, what are the requirements if I'm supposed to, go study this course or this material in the school? And then you should decide which vacancies you're going to apply. You should check the vacancies on the PEC website too. The third step is that you should contact the Brazilian embassy or consulate to learn how and when to present the required document. So you applied, you checked your school, you checked your destination, your city, you're very content with where you want to go, and then you text your Brazilian embassy. You should email them, just get into contact with them. And then you should learn how to present the required documents, because it just can't go in any form. It should follow a pattern, okay? And after you've sent your documents, the fourth step, you present the required documents at the Brazilian embassy or the consulate in your country. So you ask them, how am I supposed to present the documents? They tell you, oh, fit everything into one PDF form, or whichever way they describe to you that you should present your document. You present it to the consulate. You should check the list of the required documents on the PEC website too. It will be there. Okay, and the final and the most important step, you complete your application at the Brazilian embassy, okay, in your country, the embassy or the consulate at your country. These are the 5 basic steps. The most important thing you're supposed to look out for is the website. Just read everything. You take your time and read. It's very important you understand everything you're reading before you start your application process. So the final step, you complete your application process. And if there are any doubts at all, you should always get into contact with your embassy. Okay.
That's exactly that. Paul said it all. That's also something important. The step 4 and 5, they may not happen at the same day, okay? They can happen in 2 different days, but get in contact with your embassy and then you know how it will go. Okay, so this is the website. You have a code here for you to easily access it. And here is the form which we were talking about. Every question in the form is in 4 languages, so it won't be hard for you to understand it. Okay, you can fill it easily. The documents that you need to send, we'll just take a quick look, but you can also take a screenshot here. You need to send or present the certificate of completion of high school, your complete secondary school report or the transcription of your grades, your birth certificate, a physical and mental health medical certificate, but this will not be used for your selection, okay? This will only be used if you are selected for the institution to get to know you better, okay? If you have any medical issues, it's really good for the institution to know about it. You also have to show the statement of financial responsibility that will be in Portuguese, a proof of monthly net income of your financial sponsors, a term of commitment for application that will also be in Portuguese, and if you have any documents that are not in Portuguese, English, French, or Spanish, simply translate them, okay? There's nothing really specific on that. If you're applying only for the PEC, so you already speak Portuguese, you need to show either the CELP-BRAS or the certificate of the EGR course, so the documents we talked earlier on the language requirements, okay? Please, please, please check the PEC website. We strongly recommend that you read everything, the call of notice, the information on the vacancies, the requirements. So read it thoroughly, okay? And the calendar really quickly. So from July 18th, you are able to fill out the online pre-application form and up to August 23rd. That's the deadline to present your documents at the embassy or consulate. August 16th is the last day to register for the CELP-BRAS exam if you need to do it. And September 9th is the deadline for the embassy to complete your application and send it to Brazil. From October the 25th, we have the preliminary result, and there's also a period for the selected students to inform their acceptance, withdrawal, or request for change of vacancy. And then from November 14th, we have the final result. After November the 25th, students need to contact the institutions to receive information of enrollment, and in 2025, you leave to Brazil, so your journey will begin.
Exactly.
Yes. So to finish this presentation, I will ask Paul to read me some questions and I will explain further information to you.
All right. So some frequently asked questions for Leticia to help us, dissipate some of these information. So we want to know, what is the maximum age to participate, Leticia?
Well, this one, Paul commented to us earlier. There's no maximum age, only a minimum required age, which is 18 after January 1st. And it doesn't matter if you're older or younger. It doesn't have an influence in your chance to be selected, okay? You can apply if you're older than 18.
Exactly. If you're 18 or older, right?
Oh, yes, if you're 18 or older, thank you.
Exactly. And then someone wants to know if how much it costs to apply, what should a person take into consideration? Someone wanting to know, hey, how much does it cost to apply? Should I pay something? Should I not?
No, no, it doesn't cost anything. Of course, you may have to pay something to print your documents, for example, or to go to the embassy. That's on you. But for applying for the program, there are no costs at all. Okay, the application is free.
It's a completely free application program. Admission, everything is free.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So the next question: if my school issues grades as letters instead of percentages, okay, how do I determine if my grades meets the 65% passing requirement? It doesn't
That's
come in
a
percentages, but then it comes in, letters instead of percentage.
Yes, like C or E or A.
Right.
That's a good question, but you don't need to worry about it because the worker at the embassy, the person responsible for your application, will work on that. Will work on the equivalence of your grades with the Brazilian system or with the application requirements. So just take your documents to the embassy and people will take charge of that.
All right. There's another frequently asked question. Someone saying, I don't know Portuguese. Can I take the undergraduate course in another language?
No, you cannot come to Brazil to study your course in English, for example. So you need to either study Portuguese before or apply for the PEC PLE as it PO, okay?
Someone asking another frequently asked question, can my sponsor be from other countries and not from, for example, I'm from Ghana. Is it obligatory that my sponsor is or, comes from Ghana as well?
No, no, you can totally have sponsors for other countries, even Brazil. For example, you have an older sister that lives in France, in Europe, and she can send you money. She can help you. That's totally okay. Okay. You have to prove that you have the 300 monthly dollars for your income, but that's all.
Okay. All right. Another frequently asked question, can I work while studying?
You can, but your work hours should be they need to contribute to your studies because the main goal here is studying. So you need to ask the institution the how many hours you can work. There are some rules around that, but yeah, you can work while you're studying.
All right. Another frequently asked question, I've already started or completed my undergraduate studies. But can I still apply for the PEC-G program? I'm a Ghanaian. I studied in Ghana. I'm done with my undergraduate studies, or I just started my undergraduate studies. Can I still apply for the PEC-G program?
Yes, you can. Please come. If you have already uh a diploma, you can come, you can you can take another course. If you have started, you have done 1, 2, 3 semesters, you can come, you will begin from the beginning, so you restart your studies, but you can even ask to your institution to use some of what you have studied before. So that will be when you come, you see that. But yes, please apply, please come. Okay, so these were our frequently asked questions, and to learn more, please contact the Brazilian Embassy or consulate in your country. Visit the PEC website. You can scan the QR codes here and apply and come study with us. Paul, do you have any messages for the candidates?
Okay, great. Just to the potential candidates, just as Leticia said, and keeps on, stressing, Brazil is a very diverse country. I mean, Brasilia, so I speak of Brazilian lots, pardon me. But Brazil is a very diverse country. Brazil is with open arms, ready to receive and accept everyone from every corner of every world, okay, every part of the world. Once you get here, it's a lovely place. You're going to love it. Okay. It's like we're moving from home, but we are coming back home again. Okay. You would love it. Just don't forget to follow the rules, get into contact with your embassy. If you have any doubts, if you have any questions, just make sure they are answered before you begin the application process, before you continue with the application process. Once you come, you should look to it that you will you just dive into the culture. Don't just come study and then leave. You should take note of everything, and then you're applying. Oh, I'm applying, I'm just wanting to go to any city at all. No, you should be very careful when you're selecting your city, what you want to do, the course you want to do to, because that's going to influence your stay here in Brazil a lot. Basically, that's all I have to tell potential candidates.
Yeah, that's very, very helpful advice. Thank you, Go. So that's it for today. Apply, and we see you in Brazil. Goodbye.
Goodbye.